guys, Lee here with Crawlspace Ace. Today we're going over how to install a sump pump system in your crawlspace. So first thing you got to do is get some supplies. So we got here our sump pump basin. This is a 17-gallon basin. It's got perforated around the outside here so water can get into the basin. This is actually a two-piece, so you can take it apart and fit it into some of the smaller crawl doors and put it back together whenever you get inside. The other nice thing about it is it's got a clear lid, so you can come in and look and make sure everything's working right without having to take all these bolts off and pop the lid and make sure everything's working. You just kind of look in there and see everything's working good. Another thing you got is a drain. This is actually the basin we use for our crawl space encapsulations. So this drain is good for whenever we seal the liner around this basin, you get a plumbing leak or anything like that and you get water on top of that liner, then you can get that water squeegeed over to this basin. It'll seep in through this drain into the basin and pump right out. It's sealed, so there's no soil gases that can come out. It's a really nice feature. One last really good feature about these basins is they got this, they call it the bell-shaped basin. So the problem with a lot of these other basins you get is the way they're shaped, there's no way to keep them from popping out of the ground. If you get like a high water table, that thing will just float right out of the ground and you'll see them just sitting up top, and that's not helping nothing. So whenever you set this basin in the ground and pour rock on it, this lip here, all that rock's going to be pushing on this lip, and this basin isn't going anywhere. So it's a really nice basin, great basin. I use them all the time. The next thing you need is a sump pump. So this isn't the normal sump pump I use, but it's still a really nice pump. I actually got it from Lowe's this time. We're on a short schedule, so I didn't have time to order my normal, so I went and picked this guy up. It's a 58 gallon per minute pump. It's cast iron. It's a solid pump, so it'll last forever. The big thing with these basins is if you get one of those 5-gallon buckets and put one of these sump pumps in there, 5 gallons isn't anything. These floats, as soon as water hits that 5-gallon bucket, it's gonna hit this float and that pump's gonna turn on and start pumping water out. They call that short cycling. So if it's, as soon as water hits, that thing's turning on, and it's just short cycling, and that's what burns these pumps up. So getting a big, good sized basin to set one of these in to where water, it takes a while for the water to fill in, and then you pump it out is the only way to go. So setting one of these sump pumps in a bigger basin to where it's gonna take a while for that basin to fill up and hit this float and turn it on, it's gonna eliminate that short cycling. These pumps that are made to last forever are gonna last even longer. So it's the best way to go. I would recommend it. The last thing you're gonna need is a check valve. Why you need one of these is whenever you're pumping these things up, usually you're going 3-4 feet up to the rafters with the pipe, the drain pipe, and then running it outside the crawl space. What this does is you set it up on top of this sump pump, and when the water starts pumping out of this, it hits this check valve, and when that pump finally turns off, instead of all that water that had been running up that pipe falling right back down and back into the basin and filling that sucker back up, guess what? It's going to short cycle it again. So this check valve works as it's pumping that water off, the pump turns off, and bam, it just stops right at this check valve, and you're not refilling that basin and short cycling that sump pump. So those are the 3 main things you need. Obviously you need drain pipe and stuff like that. So I've actually already started to dig out everything. So I got this basin. Let's see if I can get a light over here. So as you can see, I got a big hole dug, not just the size of this basin, but about twice the size of the basin, and I set that in there, and then we'll fill it in, the whole area in with rock. And on this system, I'm running a curtain French drain all the way around this crawl space back into this sump pump basin. So as soon as water comes into this through these foundation walls, it'll hit that drain tile and run straight to this basin, and we'll pump it out, get that water out as quick as possible. So what you do with these French drains is you'll install a drain tile in there, a perforated pipe, fill it in with rock, and like I said, as soon as that water hits, it'll run straight to that sump pump and out. So this one, we're actually running it straight up to these floor joists, and then we're gonna run it straight out to the outside to drain. He's got a good slope on the outside of his house, so we're just gonna run it out, and that water's just gonna pump and move away from the house. So I'll show you what it looks like afterwards, and thanks for watching, guys.